Greetings, everyone. I'm Mar, and once again, this is my opinion. While I enjoy the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I can't deny the series has become formulaic. While entertaining, for every Guardians of the Galaxy, there's a civil war. Captain Marvel sadly continues this trend. Entertaining, but its shortcomings cause it to feel like filler, which is sad this far into a film series. Set in the 90s, Captain Marvel follows Carol Danvers, played by Brie Larson, a human serving in the Kree military. Carol suffers from amnesia, having no memories prior to joining, although her dreams contain brief flashes of her old life. Carol also has difficulty controlling her powers, to the annoyance of her commanding officer, Rog, played by Jude Law. During one mission, her squad is ambushed by Skrulls, a sentient race that shapeshift and infiltrate other species, and separated from her companions. As luck and plot demand, Carol lands on Earth, where she must piece together who she is while saving her original home and family from an alien invasion. The acting is what one expects from a Marvel film. Believable, but the Academy won't be handing out awards. Samuel L. Jackson is always great to watch as Nick Fury. Here, we have the added entertainment of watching him portray a younger Fury before the future director had been jaded by experience. The entire film I was making mental notes and comparing how different he is a decade later. Jude Law is great as Rog, even if he's only in a handful of scenes. He handles himself well during the combat moments, although sadly he doesn't get much time to shine in the third act. Djimon Hounsou and Lee Pace reprise their previous roles for continuity's sake. Glorified cameos, they do alright with their material. As a Guardians fan, it's nice to see what Part 1's antagonists were like younger. Brie is decent at best as Carol Danvers. While much has been said of her performance from the trailers alone, after having seen the film, I only half agree. Brie carries herself well during the combat scenes, making it easy to buy her as a soldier. The issue is her enunciation and vocal emotion. There are times where her subdued delivery works, as it ties into Carol learning to control her emotions. Once on Earth and free from Kree control, this style loses its luster. I'm not sure if it's a result of bad direction or actor interpretation, but once the third act begins, Carol should be expressive, her quips oozing warm sarcasm. Neither occurred, and the film sadly suffers. There are moments where Brie did emote well, but they were fleeting. The special effects are great, a highlight for even the MCU's weak links. I don't remember too many moments where the rendering had me rolling my eyes. The Kree and Skrull makeup were well done. While I don't mind motion capture when executed properly, example, Thanos in Infinity War, I still have a preference for class of makeup when practical. While there were meme comparisons to Dragon Ball Evolution's Piccolo early on, the Skrulls blow the pseudo-daimyo away. As an aside, I don't mind that the Skrulls depicted weren't hostile, shows not everyone within a group have to be an enemy or share their home values, and it subverts expectations in a good way. The score was decent, suiting the film tonally and thematically. Sadly, I remember its use of pop culture music better. Two songs stick out in my head, I'm Just a Girl by No Doubt, and Come As You Are by Nirvana. The latter is interesting considering it was written after Carol left Earth, and thus it shouldn't be in her subconscious. However, I have a story-driven answer. Given the off-camera travel times, it is plausible Carol heard the song on the radio, and given her past love of rock music, dug the tune. Given Brie's real-world comments, I'm sure the No Doubt song annoys certain viewers. While I personally would have gone with something heavier, Carol's wearing a Guns N' Roses shirt in the flashback after all, I'm fine with the song's usage, even if its lyrics are on the nose. Speaking of which, perseverance is the film's central theme. To quote another comic book film, why do we fall down? So we can learn to pick ourselves back up. From the beginning, we see Carol struggle to overcome adversity in one form or another, from controlling her powers to sexist flight mates to sports injuries. Carol takes it in stride, pushing forward to succeed. While it doesn't execute this film as effectively as Batman Begins, it works enough to engage the audience. The shooting script and film execution simply needed a tweak or two, primarily when it comes to the third act montage. I get what the filmmakers were going for, but it didn't help the film's perceived SJW leanings following Brie's comments. It's show rather than tell. The inverse would have helped the film immensely. Combined with Brie's performance, it's no wonder my contemporaries call Carol a Mary Sue. Now we come to Nick Fury's eye. As many of you know, by film's end, the future S.H.I.E.L.D. director is wearing his trademark eye patch. How does he lose his eye? In combat with the Kree? Because he trusted Carol too much and took a blow for or from her? Extracted during torture? Nope. Fury loses his eye to Goose the Flurkin, an alien species that looks like an Earth cat. Sam Motherfucker Jackson loses his eye to a cat. While being an alien partially excuses this and subverts conventions, I still must ask what the filmmakers were thinking. While I did laugh in the theater, this moment lost its luster as I contemplated the scene. All the shine was gone upon my recent rewatch. While the aforementioned ways would have been obvious, they would have been thematically satisfying, especially if Carol was at fault. Personally, I would have not shown the eye loss and simply teased the audience to make them think, is this the cause? The car accident scene was early foreshadowing. Simply write in another moment or two like that. The tease might disappoint some members of the audience, but it's preferable compared to what we got. As it stands, it's a laugh, and story-wise, Fury is now telling Captain America a cat story. Sad, but it isn't Fury's character to stretch facts for personal gain. There's a small silver lining in this debacle. While it could have been better, Captain Marvel is still an entertaining watch. Textbook Marvel, it's paced well, with just enough story to engage the audience. While I don't quite recommend it as a much-watch film, I'm happy I watched it. I only wish Marvel hadn't retconned where the Avenger name came from. Seriously, they had to make it her pilot name? The Mar-Vell pun was more enjoyable than that.